So everybody, good morning, friends. So happy you guys could join us today. Before we start this morning, I'm going to read our draft land acknowledgement. This is a draft, it is still a work in progress and will change, but it's what we have for today. Clarence-Rockland is situated on the traditional and ancestral land of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee nations. The Clarence-Rockland Public Library gratefully acknowledges these Indigenous nations for their guardianship of this land. We honor the peoples and land of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee nations. Their culture and presence have nurtured and continue to nurture this land. So on this day, honoring the children lost in the residential school system, the library welcomes Louise Viau. Louise is a local Metis artist. She found out she was Metis in her 20s, and she was relieved to discover this as she had always had a fascination and affinity with First Nations peoples. Louise is passionate about reviving the lost art of her heritage and its traditions. Therefore, she's thrown herself into learning and teaching the art. So hopefully afterwards you can have a look at some of her art, which is on display in front of the fireplace. So Louise, I offer you this tobacco in honor of helping us honor this day. Everyone, let's welcome Louise. Hey.
Hi, Louise.
All right, well, a little bit of me. I come from up north. I come from Timmins, but I moved in this area for schooling about almost 30 years ago now, and then moved here in Rockland because I really like the little town. I was given a task today, which I take pretty seriously, to read a book to you guys. I was given 2 different books, so I'm going to have you guys choose which one you'd like to see today. So a vote of hands, this one, or a vote of hands for this one? So just lift your hands. Which one do you want? This one or this one?
Other one. Yeah.
But I need you to lift your hands, okay? So I know. So 1, 2, 3. This one. So there's 2, and for this one, there's 2.
I say read them both.
So I'm going to start with Stolen Words, okay? So this one was written by Melanie Florence, and it was illustrated by Gabrielle Grimard. Okay? So let's see what we got in here. Now we'll show you the pictures that come with it. All right. So we'll start with this. I'll read you what it says. She came home from school today, skipping and dancing, humming a song under her breath, clutching a dream catcher she had made from odds and ends, bits of strings, plastic beads, and brightly colored feathers. Her glossy braid danced against her shoulders, swaying with her black as raven's wings. That's the dream catcher she. Grandpa, she asked, clutching his hand, spinning under his arm before dropping it again. How do you say grandfather in Cree? He stopped, breathing
for a moment, a lifetime to a 7-year-old. That's your grandpa. And she's walking with him down the street. Oh, look at her face. What does that mean? Does she look sad? No. He looked down at her sadly. I don't remember, he answered. I lost my words a long time ago. A frown clouded her face. How did you lose words, Grandpa? She asked. They took them away, he answered. She thought for a moment. Where did they take them, she asked. Where they took all of us, he said, away from home, away from laughter and soft words, away from our mothers who cried for us. She reached for his hands, gnarled hands. And who took you away, Grandpa? She asked quietly. Men and women dressed in black, talking to us with words we did not know, he answered. They reached home and sat on the stairs together. She's sitting with her grandpa now at home. Where did they take you, Grandpa? She asked. Away to a school that was cold and lonely, where angry white faces raises their voices in their hands. When we use our words, he answered. They took our words and locked them away, punished us until we forgot them, until we sounded like them. So that's the raven, and it's the words of the children, and it's going into a cage. Harsh, sharp words, so different from the sound of her beautiful ones. She touched his face, weathered, tried to wipe the sadness away with her soft hands. Grandpa's crying. She looked down at her lap and handed him the dream catcher that she made for her room. You take this, Grandpa, she said. Maybe it will help you find your words again. He smiled at her, his granddaughter, and touched her innocent face, a face that had never known hard words or raised hands. He smiled and kissed her head. The next day, she skipped out of school again, smiling widely at her grandfather. She stopped in front of him and took a deep breath. Tanishi Nimoshon, she said. His eyes widened. She smiled brighter than the sun. I found your words, Grandpa, she said. She pulled a tattered, well-worn paperback out of her book bag. Introduction to Cree, it said. So she found a special little book for her grandpa. My teacher helped me find this for you at the library. Oh, go figure. He reached for it, his hands shaking, opened it, feeling the soft, much-loved pages under his fingers. No see Min, he whispered, meaning granddaughter. The words felt familiar to his mouth. It felt like his home, his mother. So that's him and his mom. So when he spoke the first words, it made him feel like he was a little child in his mom's arms, just like Patty. He turned the pages of the book carefully. Masinahi kam, book. He turned another, word after word. Pekisque wina. His words, pages and pages of them. He looked at his granddaughter, his Nosi Sim, which means granddaughter. Thank raven that went into a cage? Well, they found them in the book and now they're all released, so all the birds are free, just like his words. Yeah, pretty cool, eh? Will you read to me? She asked, taking his hands in hers and leading him home. Will you teach me your words? His heart danced as he nodded, holding the book against his chest. Guess he found his smiles too, right? That's now. So do you remember how granddaughter is said? How do you say granddaughter in Cree? You want to say it with me? No si sim. Meaning granddaughter. He is really happy with that. Yeah, I would too. It's like your mom and dad, when you were younger, they couldn't wait till you said your first words. Trust me, Dad was hoping for Dada, and Mom was hoping for Mama. But your first word says a lot, because that's the influence in your life. So for the little granddaughter, hearing her grandfather speak was like the first time a parent would hear their words. Pretty neat, eh? Yeah. So I don't know, do you have a background in another language that you want to share?